Maryland Bible Society, we've been around over 202 years now. Started in 1810, one of the very first Bible societies in America. And what our goal, our mission has been very clear: to distribute God's Word in a language that could be read, at a level that could be understood, and at a cost that could be afforded. And of course, that cost sometimes means free. Sometimes it means that we cover the cost. Sometimes we take a donation. It depends on the situation. Our primary goal is that God's Word would be spread, that people would become people of the Word, and really the ultimate goal is that they would come to know Him. It'd be easy to answer the question, what are the keys to our success, by stating that we've done everything right. The answer would be somewhat misleading, because certainly along the way we have made mistakes, we've had to make changes, we've had to do better at what we've done. But to answer the question, probably the best way it could be answered, and that is God's blessing. 202 years does not come by accident. It means that He has shown His favor and His blessing upon us. And there have been many people over the years, including Colonel McHenry, of which we know Colonel McHenry from Fort McHenry. He served as the second president of the Maryland Bible Society. John Goucher College, also served as one of our presidents. We've had leaders in the community that have really had a desire to see God's Word shared, spread not only in this state, in this country, but abroad. Those were men and women that stood behind what we do. And so we have seen God's blessing. We have been good stewards with the money we have been given. We have a passion for what we do. And so those are some of the key ingredients to what has made us successful. But ultimately, we have complete dependence on Him. As people come up to me and ask me, how do you live out God's principles at work? How do you live biblical principles at work? Maybe they work in a corporation where there's a Christian boss, but many of them work in corporations or in business environments where there may not be other Christians. So constantly you hear the question, how am I to live my faith in that situation? And a couple principles come to mind. Number one, true biblical character is contagious. It reflects the character of God. So my first point would be, come to work and be who God has you to be, where He has you now. So often we have made a division in the church that says the secular world and the spiritual world, or the sacred, are different. Very clearly to us, they are not different. So those employees that we talk about that work in different environments, Christian or otherwise, we believe that is an opportunity to be a ministry. We believe that means submitting to authority, doing work as unto the Lord, but doing it with excellence. And so not only is it about character, it's about testimony of excellence. It's also remembering that you are where you are for the glory of God, and so we never forget our purposes. We are there for His purposes, and first and foremost, it's not about us, it's about what He is doing in that environment. So there were some of the first bits of advice I would give an employee at a corporation. Yeah, some of the advice I would give to the new business owner, maybe a young entrepreneur, an old entrepreneur for that matter, seek wise counsel. There is obviously wisdom in a multitude of counselors. So one of the first things I would do is spend time with somebody that has been in business, somebody that has experience, and somebody that has wisdom. I would also make sure that I spend a lot of time in research to make sure I'm in the right business field. But I would also say that a big part of it is your passion. What has God given you from a standpoint of treasure, testimony, talent? And make sure that where you are is a place for that gifting, that display of God in you to be on display the best. Make sure you're in line with your passion. Something I've been blessed to be at a place about where the Bible Society, it'll never be a job, it'll never be a vocation. This is what I love, and I would share that with other folks. Be where you love, be what you're passionate about. Now, after 200 years of distribution, of sharing God's Word in many places, Maryland, throughout the United States, and throughout the world really, we've come to a new day where the Bible Society has to function a little bit differently. So in line with our passion for igniting fresh passion for His Word comes also a new delivery system of how that passion comes out. Certainly everybody knows that most households, really the number is 96% of households in America have a Bible. Many of them have multiple Bibles. But now I have 100 versions on my phone. Things are changing. The electronic world, technological advances, the way we use the web, the way we use our Nooks, our e-readers, everything is changing. What is not changing is God's Word. It never changes the same. It never changes. It's always the same. God's Word may be delivered differently. It may be distributed differently even in the future in ways that we do not even understand now. But our new goal is not to get caught up simply in how God's word is distributed, but how it is received. The Bible Society's real passion is that we would have lovers of God's word. And we are doing everything we can, working with churches, working within the scope of new technology to find ways to get people to love to spend time in His word. And that really encapsulates the new vision and mission of the Maryland Bible Society.